So hello, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for taking time out of your day to come on and listen to this partnership that we've got going on. I think it's a really exciting partnership. It's something I've had knowledge of for quite some time. I want to welcome Gavin to the call. Gavin is a guy I met a couple of years ago. Had I suppose, very similar views on what we're trying to do in the overall context within the crypto space. A lot of what he does is based around helping people through crypto as well and giving them opportunities and finding ways of, I suppose, creating real utility and real opportunity within the space. And the project, one of the projects, I should say, of what he's involved in crypto is something that I really like. It's one called Drunken Monkeys. It's DMMC. It's an NFT. And I suppose, unlike an awful lot of NFTs out there, it's a picture of something or other, and often an ape. And in this case, there is a similarity. It is a picture of an ape, but super cool apes. I'll put it like that. But not the purpose or the reason I bought into this myself personally. Also, I will say the company has also bought into this, and in both cases, more than just one. I'll put it like that. But yeah, it's a project that I really like because they've created very real utility, very real value, and there's many aspects to it. So rather than me rabbiting on about it, let's get the CEO, Gavin, to chat and take us through it a little bit, and I'll try in a few questions along the way, and we'll just dive into what makes this a very special NFT in my view. And I suppose just with touching back on with Gavin there, we've been in regular contact since we've met over the last couple of years, and like I said, very similar views on what we're trying to do here, and just ensure that people get opportunity and have an understanding of what they're involved in and how to, I've often said it, many people make money in crypto, very few keep to hold on to it, and so with what Gavin's doing, there's the potential to buy into this NFT that has real value, real opportunity, and adds a touch of class to your life as you go along as well. So Gavin, very welcome to the call, first of all. You're over and over on mute, I know. That would be helpful.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
How are we doing, Vivian? Nice to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose, Gavin, maybe the best thing to do is, if you want to give a little bit about yourself personally and your involvement in crypto and your time in crypto, and I suppose what you've put together. There's various elements to what you do, but I suppose specifically with the Drunken Monkey for now, just explain a little bit about why you've created this NFT, what it does, what the utility is, and we'll take it from there.
I'll give a quick high-level overview on my background before Drunken Monkey and how I got into this space. It was in late 2017. I was working on disrupting a industry for the gaming, online gambling and payment sector, but there was a lot of red tape involved in that. I then pivoted towards helping people, shall we say. You put yourself in a position where you start helping people and you realize that help starts to become a full-time commitment that you didn't expect. So it was only in, I think it's 2021, I ended up getting bombarded with messages from people who were probably bored at home during COVID, saw lots of green candles, heard lots of stories of people making money, and they started asking me questions. Are you still involved in Web3, and anything you would recommend? And one thing led to another. I ended up putting like 35 acquaintances into a Telegram group, just to kind of provide them with information, really, insights into the market, opportunities and whatnot, thinking nothing of it, just to kind of stop me having to message 35 people separately. And lo and behold, that group went, from my knowledge of just me writing in there, it went from 35 people to around 1,400 people in like 8 months. It was pretty crazy. I was then left in a position where I had a very professional group of people, shall we say, because it was an extension of my network. It was never advertised or marketed anywhere. There was some, high net worths in there as well. And there was a lot of people that could obviously see that I had a good understanding of the market. I had enough time to dedicate towards it. And I was kind of filling gaps in their knowledge that they didn't even know where to start with. So the next thing that happened off the back of that was I had people coming to me saying, can you do portfolio management for me? So there was obviously a lot of trust required in that. I ended up building up a non-custodial asset under management of around $2 million in the space of like a couple of months without asking for it. One thing led to another. That was all fantastic, providing information to the community. And then I start getting asked lots of questions about NFTs, naturally. So I was doing an AMA every Sunday for like an hour where I could have an open conversation. So people would start saying to me, like, Gav, you know, we keep seeing these NFTs popping up, you know, as you refer, Vivian, Bored Ape, Yacht Club, Utinate, CryptoPunks. You know, would you recommend any of these worth getting into? And being completely honest, I said to him, no. I said, I don't. I said, I understand the technology. I believe in the technology, but I don't believe that right now there's anything tangible behind any of these projects that's got a sustainability for longevity. I said, you know, you can find this lovely picture of a mutant ape or whatever it may be. You put it on a frame in your wall in your kitchen or your office or whatever, but is that really worth $10,000, $50,000, or even $150,000 they got to? Personally, not for me. Okay. And, you know, is that going to be a volatile asset that once that hype has run out, is it sustainable as a value? Is it real art? So I kind of lent away from it for that reason from NFTs at the time. But I was always open. I'm always open to how technology can disrupt industries, how there could be real tangible value added into any asset. And obviously blockchain gives us the you know, the opportunity to be able to do this at magnitude. I travel quite a lot. You know, I like to vacate to as many nice countries as I can, spend time enjoying myself. I've got a family as well. And I always found myself being a typical guy that would never plan anything. I would always leave everything to the last minute. I would say to my partner, you know, well, if you've got a plan for the trip, and she'd be like, I haven't sorted it out. And I'm like, well, so it then lent back on me. Fortunately for myself, I had a good network of friends that have been in the hospitality industry for quite some time in London and abroad. So I always used to find myself reaching out to my contacts. You know, I was actually in Dubai this is how it started. I was in Dubai in February 2022. I said to one of my contacts, you know, really need some access to some stuff. What's hot? You know, what's the best restaurants? I want to charter a yacht for the day, get a couple of beach clubs. Can you help me out? No problem. Within a couple of hours, everything was sorted for me for the 7-day trip. And out of interest, I said, you know, how are you actually monetizing this? You know, is this a business? He said, yeah, you know, we probably get 5 to 10 couples a week that will come through and need this type of service. He said we charge them like $200 for the week. If there's any additional stuff like yacht chart and an extra, it has like an extra fee on top of that. He said, but I'm doing, you know, a bit of that on the side, so it's nice. I was like, okay, interesting. So you've got that many people paying that for a weekly service. And then I looked into the bigger picture of luxury concierge lifestyle. And I started researching competitors in the market, such as like a quintessentially 10 Group, Velocity Black. And I soon realized that the question I'd been asked from my community about NFTs and if there was any value in them, I stumbled across that light bulb opportunity where I thought, wait a second, we can democratize an industry here by NFT ownership that ticks every box. And when I say ticking boxes, I mean opportunities where we can have tokenomics, which create a private round, a pre-sale round, a whitelist round, and a public round that has exponential value on increase upon the adoption of that, that allows a community to get in at an early stage who back the business. Because we're not just talking about an NFT and a crypto company, I'm talking about a business, okay? I'm talking about something with an underlying value that makes revenue, something that most blockchain companies don't do, okay? So I was thinking, right, okay, I looked at quintessentially, I had some calls with them about being a potential customer. And I soon found out that was going to cost me anything from £7,000 a year up to £25,000 a year, depending on what tier of service I wanted. So then I was like, right, okay, this is crazy. This is getting really serious. And I found the same with many of their competitors. The cheapest one I found, I think, was around £3,000 per year. And it was like, okay, what do they give me? What are they doing for me for this value? You know, what is this that I can't do? And it was all about access. You know, you can get access to stuff that maybe you can't. You know, you want to go to a client, for example, big client, corporate client out of New York. The Wimbledon tennis is coming up next month. They wanted some tickets for clients to be taken out. So we've sourced them the venture tickets at Wimbledon. Okay, something that's inaccessible. You can't just go online and purchase this. But it's not just that. It scales across. You know, it's pretty much a case of whatever you need or want, we can facilitate. Whether that's airport transfers, whether it's the fact that you're away on a business trip and you forgot it's your wife's birthday tomorrow, you need to get some flowers sent to her before you start getting divorce phone calls. You know, or where you're going around that family vacation, but you haven't got anything planned yet. You don't know where to go, what to do. You need some assistance there. So you lean on our team for that experience. And obviously we put together a team. There was 18 people in the team. You lean on that team for experience to be able to provide you with access to everything. Now, as I go back to the NFT part of it and why NFT is important to this, I've spoke to other companies in the industry, concierge, and they we're so far ahead of the curve, yourself as well, with what you're doing and what we're doing. I think from an NFT perspective, we're probably 4 to 5 years ahead of the market. So I spoke to other concierge companies at first because I was needing to lean on their service a little bit before I built my own team out. And they said, how are you going to sustain the business if you're not going to charge an annual fee or quarterly fee? And I said, well, with NFTs, there's something called royalties. And head's gone. What do you mean? What's royalty? Don't get it. So I said, well, look, we're going to offer a service that people are paying £5,000 and upwards for per year, but it's a lifetime service. Because as long as you own our NFT, we've got a mobile app that's live on iOS and Android. We've got a web app. You can access all of that, not by just having a username and a password, because that won't cut it. When you have a username and a password, your email address, you have to connect your wallet, which then reads that wallet autonomously throughout the day. And at any point, our NFT is not in your wallet, you can no longer get in our app. You can no longer speak to our 24/7 concierge agents. You cannot get access to our preferential rates. You can't do this no more. They're like, okay, so what's the royalties? I said, well, naturally, everything's got a value. You've got members that are paying you £5,000 a year, but what would that member pay you if they could have a 10-year membership? There's an argument to suggest they'd probably pay 5x, 6x, let's say £25,000, £30,000. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. What about if when they didn't want to use that anymore, that they could then either pass it on to a friend or relative, or they could trade it on a secondary market? So this when the light bulbs moment started clicking for them guys as well. We didn't really understand what I was talking about still. So we're now in a position where we've got a utility that underpins an NFT that increases in value exponentially based on the underlying utility, that leaves us in a position where we have a business model that has NFT trading on a daily basis once the model is obviously adopted more by mainstream, and where we're generating more than we need to for the quarterly and annual membership fees just from secondary market. So we've democratized the concierge space. Okay. The difference we have as well, which I found out from other concierge companies, is that they have clients that have more money than sense. Okay, that's the beauty of luxury concierge and lifestyle. And for some people in this call, they may think, I am not that demographic. I'm not a multi-millionaire. I'm not a billionaire. It doesn't matter. We've done this in such a way where it's open to everyone. Okay. Because now, if you go to a traditional concierge company and you're willing to pay £5,000 a year, and you want to go and stay at the Royal Atlantis for a week in Dubai with your family of 4, they may be able to get that for you for, let's say, £12,000. But because your time is so important and you haven't researched this yourself, you're just coming to them for a service, they're going to tell you it's actually £12,700 because they're going to charge a fee for that service. With ourselves, we get access into industry rates. For hotels, for example, we can get anything up to 60% off hotels globally. Okay. Now, again, we don't look to make money on not only the retail price, but on the industry price. Because for us, it's all about having a membership to be a part of a club. Being a part of that club gives you access to our network. Our network is growing exponentially day on day. Okay, whether it's travel, luxury, crypto, NFTs, OTC desk for corporate trading, for institutions and family offices. We're doing all sorts of stuff. If you're in our network, you get access to all of this. And we don't look to make money off any of it, because what we do is we want to provide as much value in our NFTs that the value of them goes exponential, and we sustain the business model or make money off the back of the royalties. So you're never, as a member, paying anything apart from when you want to leave, you might lose 8% on what the value is, which would be exponential from where it is today, I would like to think. And that is pretty much Drunken Monkey Members Club.
Yeah, good. I mean, when you're saying all of that, so much of it is similar to where we are from the point of view of, I started trying to help a few people. We started in a WhatsApp group. We ended up in the Telegram group. It was not by design. It just sort of happened. And then found a sort of felt the responsibility to make it better, and ended up creating the NFT to put all that in place. And so there's a hell of a lot of similarities. There's utility to both. But with regards to the Drunken Monkey, I mean, I can vouch for it from the point of view of I've used it the last time I went to Dubai. Again, a bit like yourself, last minute stuff. But I got onto your team and just said, I'm going here. I want it in this area of Dubai. I'm, gave them the various details. I had, of course, looked on the likes of booking.com and so on. And I ended up saving, I was only there for a few days. I was on my own. And I saved $400 on just that one thing. So, if I did that a few times in my life, I will save more than I paid for the Drunken Monkey. So, and that's just one thing. If I go somewhere with family or want to get a nice restaurant somewhere that maybe you wouldn't get into otherwise, or get constant tickets that might be sold out, or get into a fight or whatever the thing is, you guys can actually make that happen. And to the average person, of which I consider myself one, that's usually not available to us. And to have that availability for the lifetime of the NFT, and as long as you maintain your ownership of that NFT, you've got that access. And for me, that's incredible. And the value is nuts. It's nuts without comparing it to what else is out there. But it's certainly, you can see the huge value when you do compare it to the competition that's out there. And at the end of the day, you're owning a real world asset because it has continued value, versus it's just a luxury expense when you're buying whatever, paying $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 or whatever it might be. I see some of them are up to sort of 45, 50,000 per year to get these type of services. So for me, it's massive utility. And again, I'm only scratching the surface. You mentioned many other things there. One I want to touch on, because obviously I'm very much into crypto, and most people on here are. You can go now and actually, by buying through you guys, you can pay in crypto and actually put it down as a business receipt, versus if you, I don't know, buy the flights yourself or buy the hotel yourself. It's different, and most of them, probably all of them, don't accept crypto just yet. So it's just another string to the bow,
Well, there's a couple of points on that. You're right to suggest that literally any service that's facilitated can be paid for in crypto or fiat. So, if you want to go and book an Emirates flight or Virgin Atlantic flight, you're not going to be able to go online and pay for that with crypto. You want to go and stay at, one of the leading hotels in the world. Majority of them don't let you walk up to the desk and pay with Dogecoin or Shiba Inu or whatever at the moment. But no, even USDT, they don't have that facility. Through a company and service such as ourselves, everything's done on an invoice basis. So we can take payment for any service in crypto, and then we pay the third party. So it allows you to off-ramp seamless access to all of these services via whichever means of payment you prefer. And touching on the invoice point, that is a very good point to make as well. Whether you're a corporate or an individual, you're buying you're in a traditional world, you're buying a concierge membership. Okay, like I said, let's refer to the lower end of the market where it's £5,000 a year. That is something that you would definitely consider a luxury expense, which isn't something that everyone can afford. Okay, depending on how much use you're going to make of it, most people won't be able to make use of that. More corporates do, because they take out clients and stuff. But whatever way you look at it, it's a luxury expense. With ourselves, and we found this with what is currently our biggest client, we've got a Singapore wealth management company that have purchased 185 memberships, because what they do is they put them on the balance sheet for their company as an asset. Okay, so they've now purchased a service that they was already paying for that was an expense. They put it on the balance sheet as an asset because of the likelihood of it rising in price. And then people might be thinking, why do you need 185 memberships? What we allow them to do is you can allocate seats. So let's imagine each of their memberships is a seat on our platform. Okay, now what they've done is they've distributed 185 different seats by the email address that's associated to each of them seats to their most valuable clients. Okay, so this wealth management company is now in a position where they can offer another bespoke utility to enable client retention that's sitting on their balance sheet as an asset, increasing in price. And at any point in them clients may leave or not, they can then just remove their access and give it to someone else. Yeah, it's there's so many different layers to it. But again, like you said, you go travel, you go and book a hotel for your family, and so let's say you have got a limited company. you go and book a hotel for your family. Normally that's coming out as a personal expense. Concierge service, you may or may not have just gone and exhibited a show with your employees, and we can be flexible, shall we say. But
Yeah, yeah.
look, there's so many different utilities to what we do. But I think the fact that it's flipping a luxury expense into a luxury asset is the key USP behind that.
Yeah, no, brilliant. And I suppose like there's other aspects to it too. Like I said, you're very experienced in the crypto space, and to look into to good and not so good projects. And I know you've brought a couple of things to your own community there. One, I suppose you have a lot of experiences in the NFT space, and it's an area that you continue to look into and bring those type of opportunities to your own community. So there's some similarities to what we do. I mean, obviously, a key component of what we do is find early stage crypto projects, pre-exchange, some even low cap, whatever. You have some element of that as well in what you do, and obviously we're very happy to share that information with each other and therefore our communities. So there's plenty more to what you do. Besides, I mean, obviously the concierge services is massive value, I believe, for anyone that does any sort of traveling at all, work, personal, family, individual. It just makes sense, but there is more to what you do as well.
Yeah, for sure. The Drunken Monkey Members Club is underpinned by an NFT incubator which I own. So this only all come together at early 2022, despite me being in the space since 2017. Because obviously NFT only really caught on in 2021. Before that, not many people done much with them. So I think the huge opportunity there is behind the growth of NFTs. Even though they've been very quiet the past year and people are ruling them out, I still think they're going to make a comeback and some towards leveraging NFTs and trying to turn them into real world assets for a magnitude of reasons. So we've got an incubator where we now have clients coming to us to help them, clients, creators, whatever you want to call them, to help them go to market. Because there is so many different pieces to be able to launch an NFT project. You've got to think about whether it's the illustration, the narrative and the potential story, roadmap and utility behind that illustration. What does the illustration mean? Does it have any alignment to the actual utility? Then you've got a tokenomics behind the NFTs, even though it's not, people might think it's not a token. What do you mean? You still have to look into how that's going to work from the pre-sale, whitelist, public round, and the cost behind that. The smart contract side, there's lots of parts to doing this. Now, as an incubator and as Drunken Monkeys community, we will work with projects that come through to us, of course, okay? But then there'll be some projects that will come through to us similar to yourself, even, where you'll think, right, okay, we'll work with you, but we also want a piece of this, okay? Rather than us taking X amount of fee for doing this, we'd rather have a bit of skin in the game with you because we can see how much potential there is in this. And again, as Vivian will vouch for, in the crypto space, it's very hard to know how many projects have got the intentions that they're going to deliver on what they're suggesting they're going to deliver on. Now, I feel that if you're in bed with them and you have sweat equity in that, you can help position that as best you can. So for us to be able to get into bed with some projects and be able to share that back to our community at an early stage before anyone even really knows about them is another great utility, similar to what you're doing with tokens at the moment with WOW.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, it creates more opportunity then for your existing community, but also for us because we're, obviously we stay quite connected. So there's very much a very positive overlap. I know most people in the community will know that I'm not someone that has, well, I've no interest in meme coins. I've never really invested in any meme coin throughout my time, rightly or wrongly. I mean, that's a conversation that could be had, but probably won't have it today. But it's just not something I've always chased real utility, real use case. And again, people can argue that maybe some do, but obviously, certainly the vast majority, like lots of projects, don't and will go to zero. But it is an area that you have interest in and some success in. And I'll be straight, I invested in one just recently under your guidance. So yeah, I suppose if you want to touch on that.
Yeah, we won't refer to project names maybe because they don't sound like the most professional projects. And that's not when we look at meme coins, that's not really what we're there for. We're not looking at longevity in the project majority.
Oh, for sure.
We're looking at a narrative. They refer to it as meta. What is the trend, the hot topic at the moment? Is it, Chinese meme coins, or is it the boys club, which is can't remember the guy's name, but you've got Brett, Pepe, Andy, and there's another
Stolly.
one. Solly, yeah, there's another one as well, actually. But in that moment, people may or may not know there's a craze around Andrew Tate, who seems to be dominating the internet at the moment and just causing absolute mayhem. And just as an example on this, in our community last week, we had a project that we shared around that after it had recently launched, because we have a bit of a penetration test we run on meme coins. Okay, because like I said, they're not something we expect to be around for 2 weeks or 2 months, or you have to have your risk and reward on these, and the penetration test allows us to get a better understanding about how much security there may be in that for a period of time. So we're always hot on new launches, and we shared a project in the community last Friday, I believe it was, where the members was able to get access to this new project that launched at a 300k market cap. 8 hours later, the market cap on that project was 70 million. There's stories in the $500 into, because not everyone bought the exact bottom and sold the exact top, but there is stories of members in the community that bought $500 worth and flipped that into like $43,000 in 8 hours. One of them was actually quit his job.
I can say first of all, it wasn't bloody me, and but yes, I did see his information in there, and well, look, for that guy, based on his own information, it was very much life changing. So yeah, I mean, look, again, no one's promising anything like that,
No.
but it's just to show that there is power in them out there. But again, it's not something I'm going to spend any of my own personal time looking into. But if I got the heads up in one, then yeah, look, I would have a look.
I think the importance of why we've done that is being able to, we're very much about a real world project, Vivian. And as you will know yourself, maybe many people in your community will know that majority of the Web3 demographic, they're not really about real world utility yet. It's a very young millennial generation, most of which haven't got the life experiences, and they don't really need or want them at the moment. So when we talk about lifestyle and luxury, most of these people in Web3, they're sitting at home, they're playing video games, they're trading meme coins. And for them to buy into what we do, like I said, we're 4 or 5 years ahead of the curve. So I felt there was a need to bring another utility to Drunken Monkey Members Club that was aside from the lifestyle and luxury travel. And that's why we have focused on the attention towards these early stage meme coin opportunities that we have mainly it's in a private alpha group that we have, again, which is gated via a technology that allows our Telegram to monitor the blockchain to see that your membership is there, and if you sell your membership, you get chucked out of the group. I don't do that.
I saw that happening too.
Yeah. Some of it happened to someone last week. They actually transferred it from one wallet to another, I believe, and it actually chucked them out of the group, and then they came back in. But we're in a position where we can then provide even more value to people in the Web3 space that maybe aren't positioned towards lifestyle and luxury travel, but they want to be able to get these early stage projects and potentially make money from that. So that's another string to the bow.
Yeah, look, I think it's worth bringing up, but I also would like, I'd like to pull it back and say that's very much just a 1% thing of what you do. Like, I mean, the core really, I would suggest is the concierge side and all the elements that come with that. But there's also just in general terms, your experience, your knowledge, your access to, like you said, there could be NFT projects looking to launch. You're helping them, so they're, you know the ins and outs. You know if they're good. You know if they have good opportunity, and people in your community will hear about that. And to be in your community, you can buy one of these NFTs. And I suppose there's, you're in your pre-sale mint round at the moment. I know there was 1,500 in that. I believe there's, just something over 100 of those left right now. What's the opportunity here for the WOW community?
Yeah, so to give a little bit of background on that, we launched in April 22. We had a 0.1 Ethereum mint price, and that was when Ethereum was $3,300. We sold out the private round, which was 1,000 NFTs, in just under 20 minutes. And you can find articles regarding that on our website. And then what happened is we moved into the pre-sale round, which is where we are at the moment. And that's been a gradual progress. Now, what we've had to do, most people launch NFT projects. They have a collection of 9,000, 5,000, what it may be. They want to sell out in 48 hours. Okay, that's their goal. Now, with us, again, like I said, I took a strategic approach to this as a business. if we'd gone and sold the collection and brought on 5,000 new members in a matter of a couple of days or a week, and then we get inundated with concierge requests when we didn't have the team, the platform, and everything in place and the partnerships, we would have been overrun. The business model would have been decimated, and there would not have been the value that we've built today. So we've had to slowly bring on new members. We actually limited it that we limited it so that you could only become a member if you were buying at least 20 memberships in the pre-sale round. And then memberships was 0.5 Ethereum each. Because of how much the utility's grown now over the past 18 months, the pre-sale round is actually 0.75 Ethereum now. But there is a value that we will talk about for the community of WOW because of our collaboration as well. And the beauty of what we have as well is we have 3 tiers in our collection. We have gold, we have diamond, we have platinum. And when you mint, it's completely random minting. So you could mint any of the 3 tiers. There's a collection of 5,995, and you have a 1 in 6 chance of minting a diamond, which has a current floor price, I believe, of 4.5 Ethereum. You have a 1 in 21 chance of minting a platinum, which I believe has a current floor price of around 9.5 Ethereum.
Just to put that into dollar terms for people, that's about 16 grand for the diamond and a bit more than double that from the platinum.
Yeah, I think for the platinum it's about $36,000. Yeah, at the moment. And you can strike lucky minting that for 0.75 ETH if you're outside the WOW community. So that in itself is a very attractive play for people because, like I said, it's a sustainable business. There isn't a volatile floor. You know, you may or may not have seen Bored Apes, for example. They went to, I think they was at $170,000 floor price about 12 months ago. They came down to lows of $23,000 a couple of months ago. This project,
just sorry for jumping in, but just so people don't understand the floor. So Bored Ape Yacht Club have 10,000 of them, and a year ago or whenever it was, the cheapest one of them was 170 or 80 grand. There was many of them were selling for literally for millions.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. It's
Yep.
crazy. I want to know what these people are doing with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that they have a very volatile floor price. I don't see how that can be the case with this project. I've spoke to many people again that say, okay, your business model is built on royalties. With the amount of value that you have, why is anyone ever going to sell? And it's a good question, but I think for every person out there, everything has a price. Okay. Now, whether you're an individual, a family of 2, and you may vacate twice a year, okay, you may not have a company, you may not go to corporate events, and yeah, you may not be doing all these extravagant things, but you may just use it for that service. That alone, if you're getting preferential rates in hotels, it's maybe saving you, I don't know, anything from $500 to $1,000 per month per year. Then you would argue that NFT to that person is probably worth somewhere around 3,000-4,000. In comparison, you've got people that are CEOs of companies that have got hundreds of employees, and they're sending all them employees on business trips and whatnot every week of the month, and they're getting access to events that you can't access, private jets. These people are spending and saving tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pounds per year. So there's all of that in the middle as well. So for every person, there's a different value. I'll tell you what would be good for you. If I could just give a very quick example, if I could share my screen.
Yeah, share away, your co-host. Yeah, and that's actually a very valid point. So like if you buy one here for at this point in time, and you use it now and again, and it saves you hundreds and maybe thousands as you go along, then what's the value? If these NFTs become, I don't know, worth 10 grand, you might decide, maybe I'll just cash in on that 10 grand. Whereas the person that's saving hundreds of thousands is going to go, Jesus, no way would I sell this for 10 grand. I'm saving hundreds of thousands. So obviously everything has a price, and the price is different for everybody, same as any asset that's out there. And so obviously the further it goes up, the more people might be inclined to sell, or some people might have more than one. And so they'll keep the one for what they want it for, and they'll maybe sell into an advantageous price at a later date. So, there's many ways to skin these cats, and there is the opportunity to buy more than one, of course.
Let me just give you an example here. If it's a shame that we don't have the community that can come up and ask questions, because I could show that this isn't
Yeah,
We
no,
just
we absolutely can. If
okay.
anyone wants to ask a question, either raise your hand or type the question in the chat group, and we can bring you in and ask a question, no problem. And we'll certainly open up for questions completely at the end as well.
So what I'm going to do here, okay, is just run an example. So let's say Mykonos, 23rd of August through to the 30th of August. Okay. One room, two adults, two children. Let's say they're aged 7 and 10 years old. Okay. Now, the member's not exactly sure where they want to go, where they want to stay. They've never been Mykonos before. So not only going to need help with the different restaurants and beach clubs or whatnot, but they also want to have access to different hotels and see what would be right for them. Now, if we go through the right-hand side here, where you see retail price, this is the current rate that you would see online at the likes of Booking.com, Expedia, and whatnot. And as we scroll through here, like this one, for example, okay, it's an expensive hotel, but to some people that's normal. But just from that one alone, that's a £2,900 saving on this. Okay, we scroll down further. This one should be 11,374. We get it for just under 7,000. That
Oh,
saving alone is worth nearly double the price of a current membership. Okay, let's look at this one. 25,000 down to 13,000. You can't, and I can go on. Like you can see, if you're watching this, you can see the prices here.
yeah, but like even if you take
24.
a more a lower priced one, for example, just go up there, just go up one. There was one there for 5 grand, and there,
Yeah,
like you're still saving 1,300 or thereabouts
yeah.
on
And let,
one time, just using it once.
let's
This
say,
is
for example,
lifetime.
let's say, okay, because not everyone's going to go Mykonos because obviously that is quite expensive. Let's say you're going on a trip to Portugal. Let's look at Algarve in Portugal, just so we can show that we're not rigging anything.
Yep.
uh, and again, like I said, this is just literally one string to the bow. I'm just giving an example here because
Yep.
this is everyone. A lot of people travel at some point in the year. So, okay, we look at Algarve. Hotel should be 5,400, 3,400. Should be
Oh.
5,723. Like, when we talk about value and utility in an NFT, just this part of it alone, you're not getting this anywhere. So we're in a position where people hold NFTs, they get access to advisory, consultancy, being part of a family and a community that are constantly networking together for a magnitude of different reasons. You may get access to early stage projects, which you can potentially earn some nice returns from if you understand the space and you want to be in it for that reason. But not only that, whilst you're holding it and doing all of that stuff, whenever you take a vacation or whatever it may be doing through the year, you're also getting something back. We're not here to.
Yeah, I'll just add as well, actually, by the way, is sort of maybe the unforeseen positive, and this is I'm in the Telegram group and I've regularly seen people going before they ever get in contact with your team, they're going, I'm going to such a place. Can anyone recommend a nice hotel or a good restaurant or whatever it is? And so they're getting, oh yeah, I was there, last year whenever I went to this place or that place, it was brilliant. You should go there or whatever. Now they can get onto your team and actually go, I want to book this place, can you sort it out for me? So it's you're actually getting a bit of travel advice from people who've been there as well, which is really cool. Like,
Yeah. There's so much value. Even as an example in London, this goes for any city in the world really, but let's say that the best restaurants in London in Mayfair, you could not normally get access to them on a Saturday, even if you're booking months in advance. Through our network, you're booking a majority of the restaurants in London within like a few hours' notice, even if they're sold out. And that itself is something that people would pay certain companies for just to get that access. So, like I said, this isn't necessarily always something for someone, for each individual, but there's certain people out there where this has got exponential value. And that in itself shows why we consider this to be a luxury asset rather than a luxury expense. Even if it's not for you, it's still something that would be of value to other people if you're holding it.
yeah, and the bottom line then is you might buy you might never use the service off of this, but all going well, and the possibilities are that these NFTs will be worth a nice little bit more in the future. So there's many reasons or why you might buy it. No different to people buying into a crypto token that does absolutely nothing for them, but they buy into it in the hope that it's going to go up in price because somebody else is using it. Likewise with this, but obviously, really getting the value out of this is if you actually use it as well. And certainly for me, I've used it on a number of occasions and looking forward to using it plenty more times.
Just quickly pulled up a competitor analysis that we ran for our roadmap. Again, something we've never seen in the blockchain space, but we ran a competitor analysis on what the actual market was looking like. Now, when we talk about annual membership fees, you can see here anything from $2,000 all the way up to $45,000. Okay, for certain companies. Drunken Monkey has no annual membership fee. Revenue model, membership fees and services, ours is royalties. You don't ever expect any members to pay a premium for anything. Lifetime membership fee. There's only one company out there that actually does this. It's 10 Lifestyle Group. They charge $100,000 for a lifetime membership. But guess what? When you haven't got that $100,000 anymore. With ourselves, lifetime membership fees are Ethereum, and it's tradable, whereas none of the others are tradable.
Yeah, so even if you buy that lifetime from the other company, which is costing 100 grand, if you decide you're not using it in 3 years' time anymore, it becomes of no value. Whereas with yours, it's obviously costing far less in the first place, but also, you might be done with travel. You go, do you know what? I might sell this. It's got a value and likely to be much higher value than you paid for it.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, no, it looks lots of utility. Look, I would imagine most people have got a pretty good handle on what this is about at this stage. I think there's a question here. What's the coverage of the concierge service, countries, cities, etc.? Sorry, can't unmute and talk. Yeah, I'm going to actually mute and unmute people now in a way that you can actually come in and talk if you wish. But literally just click the button, put up your hand or whatever, and we'll find you anyway. But I'm going to do that now. But in the meantime, yeah, I'll leave that question with you.
The coverage at the moment. So if it's for travel, it's global.
Oh, sorry, one sec, Jenny. Just unmute yourself again, Gavin. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was me. I was just muting everyone and doing it in a way they could unmute themselves moving forward. Yeah.
1 second. So currently the coverage for travel is globally. We've got access to around 4 million hotels across the globe. The examples I gave there, they're not obviously not all of them as lucrative as others, but majority of them will be preferential rates. Some of them, like you've seen, will be as much as 60% below the retail rates. If you're looking for other coverage with regards to access to concerts, restaurants, or maybe art shows, exhibitions, whatever that may be, the coverage currently varies city by city. And obviously, we've only launched, we launched the NFT collection in April 22. We only launched the mobile app and the web app just around 12 months ago now. So we're bringing on different agents in different cities to expand that. We want this to be a global service, but currently our best coverage is in London, Dubai, the Balearics, including Mallorca as well, New York, Lisbon, Algarve, Phuket, Mykonos. Yeah, that's our best areas of coverage at the moment. But that will be increasing, and that's another thing. As that increases, obviously the utility is increasing, so that only gives you one answer for the NFTs growth.
Yeah. And I mean, look, obviously you're going to be expanding that on an ongoing basis. So yeah, it's a good start. So yeah, I mean, you've brought the page up there. Again, like I was saying earlier, the pre-sale mint is there's 1,500 of them, or at least there was. There's something over 100 of them left. The price is 0.75 ETH, which is around $2,700 currently. You have something to offer us?
Yeah. So through the collaboration with WOW, we will be allowing members to purchase for the next 72 hours at a 25% discount on that price, which I believe is 0.5625 Ethereum. As Vivian mentioned there's just over 100 NFTs left in this round. Once that round's closed, we'll then be moving into the next round where the mint price will be 1 Ethereum, and then we'll go into a public mint. And obviously that all is aligning with the timing of the cycle, when we expect NFTs to start getting traction again. and the exponential growth behind what we're building should all align with the price points as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, again, to put it in all into dollar figures, you're talking about the current mint price is 2,700. I believe the 25% off brings that just under $2,000, and soon to come, based on Ethereum at its current price, would have it at whatever, about 3,500 and something dollars right now. But let's just say, and most people believe Ethereum, Bitcoin, all the rest of them are going to start going up in value, that Ethereum could be $5,000 quite soon. And it's still going to be one Ethereum on this platform. So the value of the cost of this is going to go up with the value of Ethereum as well. So it's not just going up in Ethereum numbers, it's going up sort of in two ways on the dollar number.
It's like being underpinned by Ethereum, really, isn't it? The actual asset. One thing I will touch on as well, because this is first was a hurdle that we was faced with, and obviously every hurdle you're faced with business, you have to think about how you can pivot and overcome that. The main hurdle for us was, like I mentioned, we built a product that was focused towards a demographic of millennials. When I first millennials, I'm talking about NFTs, crypto, etc. Majority of them are millennials, more so than sort of 40 and upwards. Myself and Vivian are a rarity. I think Vivian's over 40, I could be wrong. But then we was left in a position where, okay, we're selling a product, leveraging blockchain, that the demographic of the product don't particularly understand, or not enough of them understand it anyway. And the people who have got the money to experience this kind of product don't have the time to even want to understand it. They don't care. Okay. So, you start talking about people having to create MetaMask wallets and go and mint NFTs and whatnot, and also buy ETH from an exchange and move it. That was a barrier to entry for people. So what we're in the process of doing now, which is pretty much finished, is we're going to be allowing to, I think you can actually purchase now via debit card. You can purchase the membership via debit and credit card. But we're also going to have a service in place where we can act as custodial for the NFTs. How that would work, people would sign up, they would purchase with their debit card, they would then put an email address in, they would tick a box for us to be the custodian of the NFT. That would then be held in a secure partnership that we've got, where all of the NFTs that are being held are aligned to each individual email address, and they're held securely. But what that means is not necessarily important for your community, Vivian, because I assume most of them know how to use and navigate blockchain and MetaMask, etc. But for the people who maybe haven't got access to this yet, because they don't understand how to, we're going to be opening this opportunity up to the mainstream, because people are going to be able to buy into these NFTs without knowing it's an NFT, without having to have a MetaMask wallet. All they want is access to the app. They want access to the preferential treatment. They want all of that. And that's something that's going to be a huge bonus for us that's going to be going live in the next few weeks.
Yeah, look, I think that's a great move. Some of our community will be already familiar with that idea as a project. Some will be aware of Voice Life offered a very similar concept and idea. So for the same reasoning as well. So it makes a lot of sense. I see there's a question in here. Is there access to Premiership tickets for Anfield, etc.? I think since Klopp's gone, I think Liverpool are just giving away those tickets because I don't think anyone wants to go there anymore. But go on anyway. Do you have Premiership access?
Yeah, we have access to nearly every league, especially the main leagues across Europe. Obviously, we incur these type of requests all the time for football tickets. Now, if you're trying to get access to, let's say it's Liverpool versus Manchester United tomorrow, and you want to get tickets, there's a very good chance that's sold out. Okay, we don't just have a suitcase in the office with loads of tickets in it, but we can get access. Okay, we can always get access to all the tickets, whether that's corporate or normal. Like when I say corporate, I mean like hospitality lounge or just normal tickets. We can get access to them if there's enough notice, and you want access to tickets for events that haven't gone on sale yet. Then obviously we can engage. You can engage with one of the agents, and they can deploy some of their time towards ensuring that they give you the best chance of getting them tickets at cost price. But if it's an event that isn't sold out, then yeah, again, we can get access. The price varies depending on how much in demand they are.
Yep, very good. So tenner for Anfield tickets.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They'll pay you.
Okay, very good. Any other questions from anybody? Anyone want to jump in here and either type in the question or unmute everyone can unmute themselves now. So if someone wants to unmute and ask a question, please feel free to do so. But yeah, look, I think Gavin has given us a pretty solid overview of what this is all about, why they might be of interest, and whether you're someone that has a lot of money or not so much money, these things can be of value. But bear in mind the whole concept of our community, as in WOW, is we're hoping to bring people along on a really positive financial journey here. And hopefully everyone will have plenty of money as we move forward. And the likes of this opportunity and service is there for people that can see the value in it, you know. And I think there's a lot of NFTs out there. There's very, very few of them have actual utility. This has, a massive amount of utility that, as described already.
I just wanted to see if I could give some further information here. No, that's a collection which wasn't ours. Someone's trying to copy us. 1 second. So we was previously listed on OpenSea, but we migrated away from OpenSea because of you may or may not know, they came out around a year ago and said that they was going to remove the fact that royalties was mandatory and those actually going to become optional. And obviously for ourselves as a real business, it was paramount the royalties was enforced, because without that, it decimates the whole business model. So we had to migrate to a new contract where we could actually restrict certain marketplaces from being able to trade our NFTs. So we've moved across to a new marketplace, which is Magic Eden, and at some point we may actually have our own marketplace for these as well on the website to make it easier for any new people to come in and purchase. But what I'm trying to do here is find the previous collection. 1 second.
Just while you're doing that, I'm just going to, I suppose, put a WOW message in here. Anyone that wants to avail of this, and first of all, you obviously have to have a WOW NFT for this discount. And secondly, you need to have your NFT activated. So I know a number of people in our community, as in our team, Linda and Catherine and so on, have been contacting people just trying to ensure that they know how to do it, that they don't need to do it. And so you need to have your NFT activated. So that's the first thing. Secondly, as most people will know, there's a certain amount of WOW tokens come with the NFT. That number is going to be reduced very soon. If you don't activate your NFT now, you're going to get the number of tokens that come with it later. So make sure that you get your NFT activated for those two reasons. And finally, as most people know, with a level 1 NFT, the most you can put into any project is $1,000. And obviously, this is more than $1,000. Having said that, we're going to leave it open to everybody, including level 1, to be able to participate in this.
Okay, so with the NFTs, when we migrated, what happened was we put a message out to the community that said, on this date, there's going to be a snapshot where we're going to take a snapshot of everyone's wallets, everyone's holdings, and at that point in time, you will be getting airdropped the NFT from the new collection, which gives you access to all the services. Okay, we cannot remove the existing collection from the blockchain. Okay, it's there, it's on the blockchain, it's there forever. What we did is we changed the artwork so that we made everyone aware that it had actually been migrated to a new collection. However, there was some people who thought they'd be clever, and after we migrated, they started listing their NFTs and accepting floor price offers, which had been left there by people for weeks or months on end with bots. So you'll see that the trading volume right near the end was just minuscule because people were just accepting all these bot offers. But if we go a bit further back to when the collection was actually real with the utility, these are the sort of prices these NFTs was trading for. Okay. And this was a year ago before the mobile app was live. This was on the secondary market. So we got 1 ETH, 1 ETH, 0.3, 0.2, 3.4. So that's like $12,000. 3 ETH, 0.4, 0.4, 5 ETH, $17,000, 1.4, 1.1. So when we talk about how far we've come during this time and the fact that these NFTs were actively being traded on the secondary market a year ago, one there for $18,500. You can see that this isn't something where, a bear market's going to affect us. We're here with real utility. We're not one of them NFTs that's going to be a volatile asset that people turn around to you and say, why are you buying NFTs for? They're all worth nothing, which I agree to. For 99.9% of them, they are all worth nothing long term. But with us, you can see that this is actually something that people trade, people see value in, and we're bringing more and more members on all the time. And like I said, this was 2 years ago now, and these are the prices where they was at and where they still are today. But they just wanted to prove that people was buying these, and
Yeah, no, for sure. And I've seen all that because I've been involved in that time frame. So very much so. Look, I think we probably have we've got the information out there.
Yeah, no, that's I've covered everything. I've just seen there's a few messages in the chat. Have they all been answered?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Let me just check here now. Oh yeah, if you're making a hotel booking, for example, for two or a family, does only the NFT borrower or holder have the discount, or everybody traveling like is based on a booking price per? No, I can answer that. That's if you're going in booking for your family and you've got the NFT, you obviously get the discount for the full thing. So yeah, that's
there is a good question in there though. So we've had this a few times now. So when we talk about the different tiers, gold memberships get you access to the services for yourself. Okay. But that doesn't mean you can't book for you and your family. You can facilitate bookings for anything for up to 6 people. Okay. But let's say, for example, if you've got a membership and it's your partner that deals with a lot of your travel, okay, for the family or for the business or whatever it may be. As you can see here, with Diamond memberships, you get all gold membership benefits, but you also get 1 additional seat, which means that you can allocate another user to your account without them actually having to hold the NFT in their wallet, because you've got access for 2 seats. Platinum members, when we talk about the value behind these again and why platinums, there's a lot of different utilities with each tier, and more is coming each day. But with platinum memberships, you get all Diamond membership benefits, plus you get 2 additional concierge seats. So this is especially good for companies that have maybe got a couple of directors and a couple of PAs, where it might be a family. This is why the platinums have got a floor price currently of 9.5 ETH, because of the exponential value that are behind them. And there's obviously a much lesser supply of them. If you get one of these, the thing is, well, with concierge traditional world, you're not limited. Anyone can go and get a membership they want to pay for it. Once these are all minted out, the 5,995, there is no more. That's when scarcity kicks in. And if you want these, you're gonna have to pay whatever someone wants to sell it, and that I don't know where that could go. That's
yeah. It's likely to be upwards anyway, but yeah, time will tell.
And if anyone wants to just run an extra layer of due diligence on top of obviously Vivian's hard work, you're all more than welcome to join the Drunken Monkey Members Club Telegram group, which you'll find on the website. You'll see all the community members in there very active, and there can't be more positive thoughts in one place than there. And you'll also realise that they're all real people. There's no bots. We're a real project with real people, and the value speaks for itself. So it's been a pleasure to come on here today, Vivian, and thank you for your time. And hopefully I'll get to meet some of your fantastic community over the coming weeks and months, and see where we go.
Yeah, no, 100%. I just see another question after landing. You mentioned people buying multiple NFTs. How many do we need to avail of the services? 1. So you might be asking, well, why would you want to buy more than 1? And well, I've bought more than 1. The company's bought more than 1 because I believe, number 1, that these will be worth significantly more in the future, but that's my own personal opinion. Everyone else can, come up with their own views. But also, these would make some hell of a present or even a prize within the community. We have a community. They might be a prize. So at some point in time. So
also, quickly on that question, it's a numbers game. If you're potentially hunting for one of them platinums that's got a 9.5 ETH floor price, some people may see value in buying more than one in the hope of getting one of them platinums as well, because then it offsets everything.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. If you minted 5, for example, and you happen to get a diamond, which is, has a current floor price of, I think it was 16 grand or something like that we were talking about earlier, or you managed to get really lucky and get a platinum with a floor price of whatever it was, 35 grand, that wouldn't be bad. That would be a bad day, bad day, So yeah, look, again, it's like everything else. Look at the opportunity, see what you make of it yourself, see what position you're in yourself, and see what you want to do with it, So, but yeah, that's it, I think.
Excellent. Great to
Gavin, much appreciate your time to come on and explain everything about what's there, and of course the discount that you're after offering our community. Much appreciated. And yeah, I think there'll be more drunken monkeys inside in your NFT or your Telegram group before too long.
Excellent. Okay, well, look, take care, everyone. Thank you for your time. Speak to you soon.
Nice one. Cheers. Thanks, Kevin.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Linda, as well. And Justin, talk to you soon. Bye.